we have Professor Vijay Pal from Associate Dean Skill Development, IIT Jammu. And we have Professor Javeer Ali from IIM Jammu. And Honorable Director IIM Jammu has also joined, Professor B.S. Sahai. So this is very important session in the sense that whatever we have discussed till now from yesterday will only be a discussion until and unless there will be someone to receive or there is some reception toward that discussion. Because whatever we have discussed, and very beautifully Srikanth Sinha from CEO Task has explained all that model, but that will be of no use if there is no receptivity of such ideas among the ecosystem in which we have to work. And this is why we have kept this session, because this is very important to gauge that whosoever is going to implement this scheme is receptive to these ideas or not. Until less because आपसे सुन के हम अपने स्किल प्लान में डाल दें और दें उसको फिर कोई यूज करने वाला ना हो, तो ऐसे प्लान का कोई फायदा नहीं है. And that's why स्कूल एजुकेशन, हाई एजुकेशन डिपार्टमेंट से and IIM से जो ideas हैं that we definitely need to listen. And my question is very straightforward and it's very simple question to all the panelists, that how can we structurally integrate long-term skilling tracks such as digital photography, AR, VR, website designing, data analytics, or XYZ we will think of in the coming time into the undergraduate curriculum, especially for the BA and BSc streams, those who are studying history, geography, political science, philosophy, because nowadays we involve exactly what Srikanth Sinha from CEO Task was saying, that we start involving and imparting skills to those when once they graduate. And then that is of no use, because उनके जो 4 years के जो time है जिसमें when they can dedicate themselves to these things has already passed. So this is very important, that how we can start from foundational modules in the first year, advancing in complexity in the second year, and culminating in industry relevant expertise by the third year. This is the first question with all of you. I can repeat if required again. And the second question is that what academic, administrative and policy intervention are needed to enable this from short-term exposure to sustained skill development within our higher education framework in Jammu and Kashmir. So the idea is very simple, that how we are going to start skilling for a graduate who is taking admission in history in BE, suppose he is studying physics in BSc. So what we can do so that once they graduate from their college after 4 years or 3 years, depending on their curriculum or course, they are industry relevant. That is very important, because in IIT what happens is that in IIT there are other courses as well. For example, chemical science and technology, there are different courses. But what those students do in those courses is that they start learning coding from the first year itself. And once they graduate, they have nothing to do with chemical science and technology. They will get a very good placement, good job once they graduate. Because their ecosystem there is designed in that manner. But that ecosystem is not available to a person who is doing history in BA, who is doing geography in BA, who is doing physics. Even physics I will include. Don't think physics is a technical subject. After 4 years of studying physics, if you are not studied it well, if you are not thorough, maybe कुछ लोग उसमें से professors बन सकते हैं. But most of them, after doing physics, maybe they will remain jobless. So what is with us? And now for this, I will start with Professor Shahid Rasool from Central University of Kashmir. Yes, please.
Shahid sir, Actually, I have a class, so I would like to speak and go.
Yes, Professor Javier, yes, you can please continue.
Good afternoon, everyone. I think this is a very important session, and this is good to see that skill development department is moving beyond the ITI and Polytechnic and talking about how this and higher education can also talk about skilling. Let me start with the NDP 2020, which is already having a component where skilling to be part of each and every curriculum, even at the school level and also at the higher education level. And I think here there is an opportunity to join hands together to work for skilling in each and every curriculum. Let me highlight a few points because we had a very interesting conference of this particular region that was organized by UPC, and they were actually having multiple sections or multiple working groups where principals of different colleges actually highlighted this point that they do have the mandate for skill development program in their curriculum, but they don't have the required faculty and infrastructure. And we also discussed this, why not have the ITI and Polytechnic, so that the skilling component in our curriculum, even in graduate and postgraduate level, everywhere it is required. Why not to have the collaboration so that the component, the skill sector, whatever requirement is there, that can be factored into the module. So I think we can definitely take that how a skill component as for the NDP 2020, it will be factored in each and every level, or at the graduate level, undergraduate, right? So that is one point. The second part is that we also had, I think very good collaboration at the district level. When we were having MGNM program, right? We also created a skill development plan for each of the district, and we realized that there are very, you can say, futuristic opportunities that some of the sectors or some of the components which were not being part of the skill development can be taken in the university system. Like say, nowadays we are talking about AI, we are talking about machine learning, we are talking about higher technologies, and I think those kind of programs can be incorporated only maybe at the graduate level. Maybe we cannot have that in the school program. So I think this is a good opportunity. We have so many universities here in Jammu and Kashmir. We are having multiple degree colleges, I think, across all the districts. Maybe we can really formulate some good strategies, some good plan, how the skilling can be done, and how the skill component can be incorporated in undergraduate and postgraduate, programs. So I think I'll pitch from there, and I'll be here to my class start, and there will be any other, input after the discussion. Maybe I'll again come back.
Thank you, Professor Javier. So this is very relevant that yes, we have in the NEP. So it exists on the paper. There exists a mandate or intent. But whether we are ready for that, whether our higher education institutions are ready for that, to incorporate all these skills in our curriculum, I would like to hear from Professor Sahid Rasool, Central University of Kashmir.
This time I speak. Good afternoon, everyone. It's a post-lunch session, so I can understand it's difficult to speak and difficult to listen. But nonetheless, I must thank the organizers for having this 2-day conference on an important topic of skill development and skill India. While we heard lots of speeches from yesterday, and particularly today, there was a presentation from Gandhinagar, which was sort of an eye-opener. Then we had Honorable Vice Chancellor from Haryana, whom I think has laid the foundation for thinking about the skill development ecosystem in Kashmir. To begin with, to answer your question about NEP 2020, NEP 2020 has been implemented almost in every university with different varying degrees. Because implementing NEP 2020 in Togo is a huge task. But when we think in terms of the NEP 2020 and skill development, there is definitely a way forward. Way forward in the sense that in our graduation and post-graduation level, we have introduced courses like skill enhancement courses, ability enhancement courses, multidisciplinary courses. So whatever infrastructure is available with whichever university, at their own level they have designed new courses and they have made them put in the basket. So students from different disciplines can take those courses. But my questions are slightly different. We have to differentiate between skilling an undergraduate and a postgraduate to make him employable, and creating a skilled manpower for the country. If I have an undergraduate or a postgraduate course, my student is studying a given subject, which under NEP 2020 also he have one major, two major, one minor, two minor. In addition to that, he has lots of multidisciplinary courses. These multidisciplinary courses over a period of 4 years or 6 years is not going to make him a skilled man which will be accepted fully by the industry. Of course, we are giving him a degree with little bit of what is called the life skills, communication skills, the IT skills, the financial skills, literacy skills, other skills are being given so that he can survive. Here, the distinction is, am I creating the skilled labor for the industry, or am I empowering a student who is studying in a higher education institution to have some skills? Because higher education institutions by definition are meant for creation of knowledge through research. But the dichotomy is that most of the students who enter the university, they enter for a job. By the end of his graduation or post-graduation, he is looking for a job. The degree may earn him a job in his given subject if he has studied it well, as you were also referring to. But if he has not done it well, he will go elsewhere. But this will not fill the demand of the industry. Yesterday, Pakistan was also saying that when the students come out of the university, they are not employable, they are not acceptable to the industry, because they have not been tailored for a particular job which the industry is looking for. Certain things are happening in every university, including my university. Like we are having an industry collaboration, we are trying to find out their requirements and tailoring our curriculum so that we can reach to some level. But my personal feeling is we will not be able to do that in university level. The framework is what was provided by Honorable Vice Chancellor from Haryana University, I think he is here, that we have to think of creating a spoke and hub model in the form of a skill university which will have our polytechnic colleges and IITIs as spokes. I am reminded of Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. In 1998, Abdul Kalam said that India will become a knowledge superpower by 2020. But he had put a condition. The condition was that we have to train ordinary Indian students at par with the students of IITs and IIMs. It's not possible. We do not have IITs and IIMs in every nook and corner of the country. We don't have adequate expertise, nor do we have adequate resources for the higher education. So he has suggested judicious use of technology for teaching and learning. His honorable expert in the previous session was also referring to. That we have to make judicious use of technology for teaching and learning and imparting the skills. And skills can be taught virtually. And the biggest example in front of us is YouTube. When I am caught for some problems, where do I go? I go to YouTube and then see how it can be fixed. So I learn the skill through video. In my university, what we have done regarding the NEP 2020, because there is a requirement, we have now created a workshop for various civil engineering and mechanical engineering and electrical engineering jobs. Because our university is in a formative stage, we have constructed lots of buildings, so the neighborhood is coming for the employment. The vice chancellor thought that let us have a workshop, let us train them as plumbers, as electricians, as masons, as carpenters, as furniture designers, and whatever is the requirement of the university. And then they will become become our human resources, they will get the jobs. And they will be trained when university is coming up. So this system can work. But our basic aim is how to strengthen the skill development, how to train the youth of this country, which has made us the youngest country with a good demographic for the workforce in the world, how to engage them and train them and market them. For that, I think we have to differentiate between role of universities and creating a real ecosystem at the grassroots level. I last year had an opportunity of being on delegation of CIA, visited some 16 institutions in Melbourne and Sydney, out of which almost 50% were technical and vocational institutions. I was surprised, some of those institutions are being run by Indians. And they take students from India to Australia, train them here for the job market. At 2 or 3 universities, I was shown the waiting list that we require this number of this particular job. So the institution was tailoring a course for them, getting students, training them and putting them. And there's a huge waiting list from the industry who were waiting for these students to come out. I think that is the type of ecosystem that is there. And this ecosystem cannot be created by simply involving universities and colleges. Of course, they have a mandate under NB 2020, which they are trying to do, and on the ground also lots of activities have been done, and lots of things have been done, curriculum have been devised, industry partners have been made part of it, designing the courses. Industry partners are being brought in to teach and get involved in the academics. But that is probably not the mandate of the higher education institution. What's required to be done is ITIs need to be strengthened, polytechnic colleges need to be strengthened, and new job roles are to be found. Because every passing year, as Warren Buffett says, that when the new technology comes, it removes lots of jobs, but it also creates new jobs. With one stroke, it removes jobs. With the back stroke, it creates double number of the jobs. We have to be very sensitive in identifying those new job roles, which includes what you were referring to, AI, machine learning, and many other courses which need to be taught to the students at PG level, even in fact at the school level. My understanding is that the skilling should start at the school level, and it should end at the 12th class. In fact, number of my analysts and people from academia have decided with me, I have been a strong votary that everybody should not go for higher education. If a student doesn't have capacity in class 12 to go for higher education, we should identify him and provide him an opportunity to go to the skill center. But it cannot happen because there is a taboo. Nobody wants to become a mason. The mason's son does not want to become a mason. Carpenter's son does not want to become a carpenter. The reason there is no dignity of the job. Unless and until we increase the remuneration and increase the dignity of the job, this is not going to happen. We will not be able to attract people unless they are able to earn a good package at the end of that particular skill course. There will be a lot of demand for such courses. अभी मैं बात कर रहा था अपने colleague के साथ बाहर. The additions in the PG level are falling. What is the reason? Because after doing PG, they don't get a job. And since he has done PG, he will not do a legal job, what we call legal jobs, so-called legal jobs. I come from a village. In my village, right now, there are 3 or 4 PhDs and number of masters, MScs, MAs, lots of graduates doing nothing. The reason, because they went to the higher education, it was a passion. Beta kya kar raha hai? Masters kiya. Now for him, it is below dignity to work in his farm. Had I caught him at the 12th level or 11th level, provide him in some skill sector, he would have become a good, he would have become a good, support to the country right now. And he would have earned for himself as well as for his family. One last, UGC started what's called the vocational courses in universities. My colleague here on the panel is heading the Directorate of Lifelong Learning. They also started 2 courses. One in mechanical engineering, one in video packing. Similar courses were started all across the country in universities. I had a problem. I said, for God's sake, don't start this course in the universities. If you are doing a mechanical engineering course, you want to produce mechanics, give it an idea. Give it a qualitative body. Augment them, they will deliver. The net result is the vocational courses which have started in the universities in the name of vocation. It doesn't have any takers now. Because those who pass out are as good as any graduate or any postgraduate. So I will rest my statement here and I will be available for any comments after. Thank you very much.
So I will just like to clarify here that when I was talking of skill, I was not meaning of carpentry or masonry only. I was talking about like maybe digital photography, maybe digital marketing, website designing, and such kind of courses. So my next question is with Professor Gir M. Shah. That can we leverage national education policies, multidisciplinary and flexible curriculum provisions to create minor degree pathways in this skill domain? And when I'm talking skill, here I'm talking to higher education department. Here I'm meaning the courses like this, like the courses in AR, VR, the courses in website designing, and I'm not talking about carpentry, tailoring, machinery, or like this courses.
A very good afternoon to all of you. Thank you very much for inviting us to this conference. Well, the question which has been asked, the leveraging of national education policy with micro credentials and micro certification and other skill-based courses. First of all, I would like to emphasize over here that our University of Kashmir, has taken up this skill development in a missionary mode ever since our Vice Chancellor, Professor Nilofer Khan, has taken over. We have done remarkable work in this area. As many as 5 centers are there in the university which are working on various aspects of innovation, incubation, entrepreneurship development, startup culture, and skill enhancement. So if I name them, one is our own Directorate of Lifelong Learning, where our mandate is to go for community outreach and extension activities, skill enhancement courses, then continuing education and lifelong learning, and various other programs at departmental level. Then we have the Center for Innovation, Incubation and Entrepreneurship Development at our Institute of Technology, Zapura. We also have, the director is over here, NewGen Innovation Entrepreneurship Development Center. Its coordinator is also here. And which these centers have been promoting all kinds of innovation, incubation, new ideas, the promotion of startup culture, and skill enhancement. Then we also have Center for Capacity Building and Skill Development. So as many as 5 centers are running in tandem and undertaking activities in this area full time. That's why I said we have been taking it in a missionary mode. Now we have been conducting these Genesis Entrepreneurship in Resistance programs. We have been conducting Startup Grant Scheme under Type 2.0. We have organized bootcamp on innovation design and entrepreneurship, and we have also conducted a huge number of these orientation programs for startups, ideation, startup workshop, bootcamp on design and entrepreneurship to encourage innovative design thinking. We also have a startup policy in place, and we have been vigorously working in all of these areas. Now, that was a basic introduction about what our university is doing, because the main topic today in this particular panel discussion is the role of schools and higher education in fostering innovation and skill development. So, today's theme of this topic, that curricular innovation, research and industry partnership, localizing global skills, and developing a collaborative ecosystem is concerned. I will begin my remarks by saying that we need a transition from conventional degrees to competency portfolios. We need to do a transformative change, a radical shift from conventional degrees to competency-based portfolios. All of us might have heard over the past 2 days about these digital skill passports, digital skill wallets, where the credentials are stored, they are redeemed, and they are in real time, they are developed and they are enhanced. So that the time has come, Dr. Shahzad Saab mentioned, Mr. Shahzad Saab mentioned about the national education policy, where there is a provision for academic bank of credits. All the credits are deposited in a bank, they can be anytime transferred, redeemed, they can be claimed by the candidate. So what I propose over here is, on the same analogy, there is need to develop this competency portfolio, some kind of a bank where skill credentials could be deposited, where the candidates could update their skill credentials on real-time basis. So I propose the constitution or establishment of global competency exchange, where this kind of transfer, storage, redemption, and validation will not only be at national level, but at the global level. So for that, we need to take a lot of steps. We need to enhance this digital skill passport services, digital skill wallets. We need to upgrade them as per the needs of the contemporary times. Then we also need adaptive and personalized learning pathways. We need to go for AI-driven, micro-credentialing, micro-certification, and modular learning. There was some discussion earlier about micro-credentials, micro-certification, and this modular learning, because this is the need of the hour. Because of course we are at the same time running our regular courses and we are offering the long-term courses, but the short-term certification also has to be done. And this will make our higher education the granularity, the stakeability will become possible. That is, these small credentials, small certifications will make the skills granular and they will be stackable. If we make use of the blockchain technology, it will make the whole assessment evaluation system trustless. So far we have been talking about making our assessment and evaluation trustworthy, trustful. But now the shift is towards making it trustless, because there is no need to trust. Because the technology will automatically ensure the security, safety, and the authenticity of this assessment evaluation system. So there is absolutely no need to trust. It will make it trustless. Then we need to have simulated real-world environments and virtual apprenticeships. Very rightly mentioned by Mr. Sinha Saab earlier, that there is not much need to develop huge infrastructure now. We don't need to spend crores and billions of rupees on building infrastructure, because everything is shifting towards the simulated technologies. And we can generate simulative pathways. We can have pedagogical innovation labs where the industry partners, the academic partners, the civil society partners can sit at one place and they can do the brainstorming, they can do the training. So that will be a simulated atmosphere. So in order to emphasize the importance of these simulated atmospheres and ambiences, here I would like to quote what has been said by the Nobel laureate of Physics 2024, Geoffrey Hinton, and what has been said by the Nobel laureate in Chemistry 2024, Demis Hassabis. Geoffrey Hinton has said that in another 10 years, the schools and universities may become redundant. So I do not personally subscribe to this viewpoint, but you can check it on Google. He has said that in another 10 years, schools and colleges may not be needed at all. And this has not been said by any small person, but the Nobel laureate in Physics 2024, who is a computer scientist, UK-based chemical scientist, and Demis Hassabis has reiterated and reverberated the same vision, and he has said in another 10 years, there may be no need for doctors. In another 10 years, disease may not exist. There may not be any disease. And similar views have been echoed by Bill Gates. They have given interviews to 60 Degrees, the CBS channel. You can view it, the full interview is available online. You can watch it yourself. So on what basis they have been saying it? I myself do not subscribe to the view that teachers will be replaced by technology. No. Maybe a teacher who knows the technology may be replaced by a teacher who doesn't know the technology. That could become possible. But to what extent teachers will be replaced by technology is debatable, is questionable. That is something which we need to debate about. But they have said it on the basis of the fact that AI tutors are developing very fast, and AI tutors are consuming this space where the student finds it more comfortable to interact with the AI tutor, and the AI tutor will be in a position to understand the problems, issues, and concerns of individual student, his strengths and weaknesses, and address them in real-time basis, which he may not be able to share with his physical teacher. So he finds it, he can pursue his education at his own pace, at his own time, and earn while you learn, do the learning also simultaneously. So I think this is what is going to be the future. So therefore we need to shift, we need to have challenge-based learning and research consortia. We need to have innovative teaching pedagogies. So how to incorporate this skilling in our UG curriculum, in our PG curriculum was a question. The need of our is to have experiential learning, project-based learning, team-based learning, competency-based learning, group-based learning, and problem-solving based learning. So when we have these innovative teaching pedagogies, then only it will become possible to leverage skilling at UG level and at other levels also. So we need to have these simulated atmospheres in the sense that we need to have digital twins. For example, in medical sciences, whenever a new drug has to be developed, it takes around 20 years. And it takes billions of dollars to develop a new drug because we have to test them on humans during clinical trials. But now with the advent of technology, we can develop digital twins of the humans, which will make it possible to design and develop new drugs within months. And instead of taking 20 years, we will be able to design and develop using these digital twins. Because digital twin will be having a full biosignature of a human being. So there is this concept of digital libraries and digital twins. So on the same analogy, if we can have simulated atmospheres of various situations of working industrial this atmosphere, which can be simulated inside the universities and where we can teach the students in real time. So that will help us in developing digital badges. What are digital badges? Virtual representation of achievements or competencies will enable metadata. So we can have digital badges which the students can showcase whether they have learned some skill-based credentials, and lifelong learning is the answer to all the questions. I'm heading a department of lifelong learning. I think all of us sitting in this hall qualify for some kind of lifelong learning. All of us need some kind of capacity building. For example, the latest apps in your mobile phones, the latest apps related to financial transactions, data security, cyber security. How many of us know all the apps which are in vogue or which are presently available for various day-to-day activities? So that is the area where all of us are actually qualified for continuing education and lifelong learning. So lifelong learning is something which is applicable to all the humans of all the age groups of both the genders, not only in formal mode but also in informal mode. So we need, these, when we talk about innovative teaching pedagogies, we need to, I reiterate and reinforce the viewpoint put forward by Sinasa, that we need to have a gamifying approach. Gamifying approach is when you play a video game, you cross certain levels, then you earn certain rewards. You become more and more curious and enthusiastic to play more, and then that hooks you up. And once you earn those credentials, you flaunt it to others. So in the same manner, if we make our teaching learning very enjoyable, very fun-based, gamified approach, that you are earning rewards upon crossing certain levels, and then you are earning badges, digital badges, that is the right kind of approach which we need to adopt for skill enhancement at UG level. And then of course we need community outreach and extension. That is, we cannot call everybody to our university campuses to earn these credentials, to know these skills, learn these. We have to take it to the doorsteps. For that, we need to establish network of skill centers, community outreach centers at district levels. We need to take it to the doorstep of the people, and that's how we'll be making it convenient and accessible and equitable, because accessibility and equitability is a great concern so far as digital technologies are concerned. So I think my time is up, because Azhar Saab is standing next to me. I'll end on that with the note that universities do need to take it very seriously, because this is the future. There is no choice of whether we should have it or not. Only thing which needs to be debated is how to do it. Thank you very much.
So my next question is with Professor Rakesh Jha, and since he is a professor of electronics and communication engineering, Professor Rakesh, am I audible?
Yes, yes. Is I audible?
Yes, yes, you are audible. So my question is very specific. That is whether means electronics and communication engineering in Central University of Jammu is already running courses like machine learning or which is available to all the discipline, irrespective of discipline. So means maybe you can be the anchor department and you are running such courses like machine learning or more courses which are technology oriented, which has demand in the industry. Are we running such courses which is open to all the students of all the irrespective of department, or are you at least thinking about it?
Thank you, sir, for your opportunity. So first of all, as per your questions, this book is the beginner Python courses, basic of AI and machine learning is we are running for all the departments, irrespective of engineering. So that is a very good platform for PhD students also. So three four courses like basic of Pythons, machine learning and data analytics. We are shooting for all the departments. However, as per my analysis, basically, I want to summarize this skillful and that is we all are using the AI tools and other tools. But this times there is no barrier between engineering and non-engineering branches. So we have also designed one very good course for tools, how we can use our AI tool for the different purpose, like content writing, graphic designing. So we have already inbuilt in that so that they can very good skills for the writing purpose, Grammarly. They are using Canva and Clipboard. So we have combined 15, 16 tools and on the risk of getting advertised in this area. So I would like to highlight very important courses for the skill purpose for this region. Graphic designers. We have also done common courses for basic electronic design courses because some of the startups now they are very good in electronic wise, it is a very good market in the future perspective. So if they have electronics courses, they are able to do the same. Some course is we have floated to all the across the branches and other institutes can also take this opportunity to website design, analysis, AdSense account analysis. So that this is a very good platform for the fresher perspective.
Thank you.
One course we have done.
Thank you, Professor.
Very important.
Just to interrupt you,
yes,
because we are running short of time. Thank you that you are running such kind of courses. And what we observe is that it is very easy to run such kind of courses when someone is in engineering colleges, be it electrical engineering or even civil or mechanical engineering. But to Professor Garima Gupta from Coordinator Skill Vertical University of Jammu, my question is that are we thinking not such technical or mathematical intensive courses, but yes, some courses which can be skill intensive, which can be industry relevant for students studying like maybe history or geography or political science. So are we running such kind of courses for the students of these institutes who are not doing engineering?
Thank you so much. We are running actually both kind of courses. We are also running technical courses like cyber security, AI and all. And we are also running courses like, financial literacy, preparing taxation and GST calculation. So we are running all the courses that cater to different disciplines, and our courses are not limited only to the students of our university. Our courses are open to everyone. So if the basic eligibility of a course is a graduation and there is some youth who is a graduate but is not enrolled in any of the education institutions, he or she can apply to our courses and is incorporated as a learner. So we have an open system of skill courses. And we also have this open system in the sense if somebody wants to coordinate a skill course and is not a faculty member of the university but an industry expert, he or she is most welcome to do so. So we have that complete ecosystem which is very open, both in terms of trainers as well as learners.
Thank you. It is very heartening to see that even you are providing such opportunity to students who are from arts stream. But it will be,
Yes.
students will need to collaborate more. For those who have just started in graduation, who are in the first year of their graduation, how we can do such courses for them as well. So now, to my question is to Professor Vijay Pan, Associate Dean Skill Development, IIT Jammu. Am I audible?
Yeah, yes, sir, you are audible.
So my question is that how IIT Jammu can help us to design these micro credits and to create curriculum for this higher education, to start these skilling courses right from first year of graduation.
Yeah, so first of all, thank you for inviting me in this important event. And I can see the title of this current session is skilling in school as well as the higher education, right? So recently, basically before this meeting, I was in another meeting with the NITI Aayog where we were discussing the skilling part in the school sectors. So basically, we have given some suggestions and they have given some tasks to us that we can make a report on that and submit. So I will tell you what exactly we are doing for the school education first. I will take maximum 2 minutes. So basically what we observed in the school education that there are a lot of initiative from the government side. They are developing adult tinkering labs, they are initiating PM series schools, many things. So in government schools you probably find ATM schools, PM series schools, and private schools are managing coding labs and all those things by their own funds. But the major problem was basically how to utilize these laboratories. So that there was two major problems. The first problem was that labs are there, but if these labs are not the part of curriculum, then nobody will use it. So the first part was the how to use those labs, and second, how to make the curriculum for that. So in that basically area we are working on it, that we are making some experiments based on the school curriculum, based on the science, so that the current technologies like coding, sensors, IoT and manufacturing. Right. So basically what we are doing in general, if you see the recent technologies, the important point is nowadays the basics of coding is very, very important at any stage of life, starting from the school to the graduation to the job. Because so far I am just listening so many speakers, people are using recent names like digital twin, AI, ML, whatever, sir. Automation, sensor, robotics, anything. But ultimately the role is basically if somebody don't know coding, they cannot develop those things. They can be a user, but they cannot develop those things. So basically for that we are doing, we are developing some experiments where they can learn the coding, they are utilizing the sensors, they are making their own experiments. And for the higher education, what we are thinking basically, like in IITs and engineering colleges, we have a lot of flexibility to introduce those courses very easily. Right, so what we are doing in IIT Jammu for our students, that I can tell you, we have framed some DIPs. DIPs stand for Design, Innovation and Practical Courses.
Professor Vijay Pal, I can totally understand, and I have already told that it is very easy to do it in engineering college like Professor Rakesh Jha has told, and it is more easy to do it in IIT. But what we can do for someone who is studying history or geography or philosophy in some graduation college, what we can do for them, that is something for which we will connect more, and we need to.
There also I will suggest, sir, at least introduce basic coding courses in the beginning itself. Because if they learn the coding, they will definitely use it for their economic courses, their other courses. Because nowadays everything is going to be, sort of automation type of things. So in that regard, I would say that the important thing is at least we should introduce the programming part.
Thank you. Now,
this is my first thought.
Thank you. Now, my question to Ghulam Nabi, to Director of School Education, that how can foundational digital and design thinking skills? It includes communication skills, it includes, as Professor Vijay Pal told, coding skill be introduced in senior secondary classes to ensure readiness for such skill tracks are used here. Thank you.
Good afternoon to everybody, and thank you for giving me this opportunity. I think most of the questions have finally boiled down. How we are preparing our budding students to go into the scheme of things where they become job seekers, job providers. School Education Department has already taken a lead. It was in 2015 that some additional courses were introduced. I should say in an isolation because there was no backward and forward linkage. But when new education policy 2020 came into existence, there's a proper framework of vocational education or vocational training in place in School Education Department. Through Samara Shikha Abhiyan, we have introduced 15 courses in the school education system, where the student from class 9 up to 12 can go into the course. Not only that, we have provided technical part to learn, but fortunately in Samara we have got the lab support system also in all those institutions where this has been introduced. We have introduced courses like healthcare, tourism and hospitality, media and entertainment, physical education, beauty and wellness, telecommunication, agriculture, security, automotive, plumbing, multi-skilling, electronics and hardware. These all courses have been identified and designed in consultation with the stakeholders, keeping in view particularly the requirement of local industry and local potential sectors. These courses have been well designed, so as the curriculum is concerned. This is a very well thought process which has gone into this. National Skilling Qualification Framework has been adopted. This goes to level 1. Each school provides an option of 2 vocational courses for one student. The basic question is you have raised. Is there any possibility, is there any option that people from other states, not necessarily from the engineering background, they go into this? This is exactly what has been done in the school education department. So there is no barrier, there is no bar. Anybody, any student who wants, as per his or her choice, to go into any stream out of these 15 courses can choose, and they can continue from 9th up to 12th. The certification is done properly. It is implemented through additional training providers. There is a BDS and group which has been chosen by National Central Development Corporation. And these BDS, they have trainers in every school. Curriculum for vocational education is framed by Pandit Sundarlal Sharma, Central Institute of Vocational Education, Bhopal, and is being followed across the country. Same is happening in JK. Certification is also again being done by JK boards in consultation with the city councillors. This is a proper syllabus, proper system to cross-check, to examine and everything which has been put in place. But what I feel one of the challenges probably we face is that once somebody chooses some course, say class 12 or class 11, he does it for 2 years as a vocational course. Probably there are not forward linkages, which were rightly pointed out by Shahid Sahab. Either we should be in a position to have colleges exclusively for skill development. Why a person after doing 1 year, 2 year course gets an elevated platform to proceed ahead. अपनी choice है उसकी वो इस field में जाए, academics में जाए, but ecosystem create करने के लिए we will have to have a platform. Why our people can go for advanced courses so that जो industries की demand है, जो job की demand है, that is fulfilled. Because it is actually they who are the judges कि किस तरीके का कोर्स होना चाहिए, कितने साल का कोर्स होना चाहिए. Normally we have a tendency to count by years. जो प्रोफेसर साहब ने कहा, it's not years, it's the quality. Now what we are thinking that we are taking it to the next level. हमारा बैच क्योंकि capacity is limited, 40 students are only to be taken. Now we are going to have online digital system also. कि जहाँ वो इतने अच्छे जहाँ बेस्ट प्रैक्टिस हुई हो, जहाँ IITs, जहाँ लोग बड़े-बड़े institutions के गवर्नमेंट डिवाइस के हों, we are trying to introduce them. But how effective that will be for industry, that probably is the challenge, and we are looking towards the industry to see at least for the encouragement of our young body people. They provide job, particularly in tourism sector. We have all tourist players here. I worked as director of tourism also. We'll be very happy if they get it as an encouragement, some sort of job, and then subsequently they can make career as a full-time job. Thank you.
Thank you to all the panelists for your education.